characters Oliver meets in the new Flashbacks in Hong Kong?
They're really cool. Seo's really cool. The dynamic between Oliver and Amanda Waller, who he is technically meeting, is really interesting. Devin Aoki, I've just done a quick scene with her. She was awesome. Correct me if I'm wrong, but when Steve Aoki DJ'd at Verdun when it opens, did I mention that I dated his sister?
Yes.
Oh my god. That's true, isn't it?
Yes.
That's weird. But yeah, it's nice to throw people a little bit of a curveball with respect to the flashbacks, because again, like the producer said in our panel yesterday, if it was like, oh, new season, island, new bad guys, that I like that in the flashbacks. If you think about it, at about the midway point of this year, we will be hitting the midway point of Oliver's 5-year journey, right? And when I go for runs, I like to do out and back runs, because if I go for 30 minutes, I know that I've actually gone 60 because I have to come back. And I feel like once we hit the short side of the downside of the hill in the flashbacks, then they will keep getting they'll keep getting cooler.
And we'll see Tommy in the flashbacks as well.
That's right. We're shooting on Monday. So excited.
What can you tease about that?
Nope. I see Tommy from a rooftop. And he's talking to his dad.
Does it make him homesick?
What do you mean?
Does it make Oliver homesick?
It's interesting. Oliver is, there have been a couple of characters that we've met through our first 2 seasons where I have purposefully played it as though we may have met before. It's not just Amanda Waller. There are characters that are going to come in, and we are also using the flashbacks, and I think that this is really cool. I love this stuff. We're using the flashbacks to explain things that happened in previous seasons. Like the whole Eddie Fires wants to shoot down an airliner. Why? Answers forthcoming.
You say that you played some of the characters previously. Were these things that you were being told, or were they things that you were
I'd always played it. No, I was choosing. We have planned a lot of stuff. I wouldn't go so far as to say that we planned some of the stuff that's happening in season 3, but I always wanted to leave the door open, because when you're watching it the first time, you're not all of a sudden going to think, oh, those two clearly know each other from the past. But knowing what you know now, if you went back and you watched those sequences, you'd be like, yep, they could know each other. So there you go.
Because Oliver is facing financial difficulties, what is the biggest thing that he's kind of feeling in that situation?
That's the funny thing. Oliver doesn't give a shit that he's broke. Money is not important to him. Money makes life easier, but it's not. He's not a guy that needs things. I wouldn't call it a fight with the producers, but sometimes they'll have like Oliver's drinking. I'm like, Oliver doesn't drink. And in my head, I'm like, yeah, he doesn't drink. It's a fight that we have. So, but you know what? Being broke is interesting until it's not. I hope he gets his money back.
What is Ollie's relationship with Thea going to be?
Really cool. I'm so excited for Willa Holland. She's such a great actor, and to hand her the car keys for a few episodes this year, to have her and Oliver relate on a much more adult level and really talk about things is going to be awesome.
What about Oliver's relationship with Roy? Was there a lot of conflict last year trying to train him?
There was conflict. Roy and Oliver are in a really good place, but there are skeletons in Roy's closet that he is eventually going to discover this year that put him at odds with himself, at odds with Oliver.
Where's Oliver with his women? With, Sarah's coming back, he's going on a date with Felicity, Laurel's still around.
Oliver has one woman this year.
And what can you tease about this woman?
That woman is Felicity.
Okay.
There's no more. There's some of the stuff that we do in the premiere, regardless of if that means Felicity and I are going to be together. If I meant what I said in the finale, we talked about some pretty important stuff in the premiere, and if Oliver were to have a fling, it would undermine some of that. So I think that the cavalcade of women is going to slow down or stop.
So Felicity is the long game, do you think, in all of this, or?
Who's to say?
Now that Laurel knows the truth about Oliver, how much is she going to be involved in what he's doing?
She's super involved. There's a great line in the pilot. You catch him, I cook him. She's really involved. This is, again, it's really exciting that we have two very, very capable actors like Willa and Katie that are really getting really having their moment. You know, from a selfless and a selfish standpoint, I like the fact that they're getting their chance because it actually literally makes my life easier.
Can we expect any great scenes between Ollie and Diggle?
Yeah.
I mean, what are we going to see between them this season?
Finger pointing, bro hugs, yelling, smiling, fist bumps, Diggle Ollie stuff.
Will Oliver have any kind of reservations about bringing Diggle into the more dangerous stuff since Diggle is now a father-to-be?
Nice. When you see the preview, I can't have you in the field anymore. Why do you think that is? It's but Oliver sees. Spoiler from the pilot. Oliver sees a version of himself, literally, that scares the shit out of him. And this will make sense, and that affects his relationship with Diggle.
Also, he has this relationship with the police department now that Lance is captain.
Thumbs up. Everything's real good.
So
It's okay.
So Team Arrow has a list of villains that they're going to be going after at the beginning of the season. So how is that list compiled, and how do they go about
So we
targeting
literally
them?
compile a list of all the crime bosses in Starling City. It's not dissimilar to the list from season 1, which we actually touched back on again this year. When we find them in the pilot, almost all the names are crossed out. I was also really pumped to fully bring back the "You Have Failed This City" line. We talked with the producers, and they're like, we always thought of it as a season 1 thing, and I'm like, really? Because when I meet fans, they love that line. They want me to say "You Have Failed This City" in the Arrow voice, and so bam, there it is. I'm reading the script from the premiere, and we open on this big montage. They pitched it like, the opening of Bond films, right? Where something like amazing and cool and huge is happening. It's not totally central to the plot of that specific episode. They're like, we want to open with one of those. We want to open with huge set piece awesomeness. And I'm reading, I'm like, oh cool, oh this is great. You have failed this city.
Will there be any surprise or unlikely alliances formed in this season that you can tease?
Yes. Not that I can tease though. I'll tease you the first episode of the season will remind you of a famous scene from a Martin Scorsese film. How's that?
That sounds awesome.
Are we going to see the storyline with Oliver's child and the mother of the child revisited at all this season?
Probably. Now, when you see it revisited, if you see it revisited, this season or next, just remember that the way that they're going to reintroduce it is an idea that I had. Okay? I'm literally sitting in the writing room, and I'm like, guys, you know what would be cool? And they hear my idea, and they go, that's an amazing idea. 2 weeks later, Mark Guggenheim is up at set filming our season finale, and he comes up to me and he goes, we have the best idea for the Oliver Child storyline. And he pitched my idea back to me. I let him pitch it, and I said, Mark, that was my idea. And he's like, I This year, during the premiere, Andrew Kreisberg comes over because he was up on the Flash, and he also pitched that idea to me. Like, Andrew. So I'm excited. That's a cool dynamic, and I hope that we explore it. The girl that plays my baby mom is a wonderful actor, and so it's weird because she and Oliver had a relationship in the past. I've literally never met her because I wasn't there the day that she shot.
Are we going to see Susanna Thompson in any more flashbacks?
I hope so, but I don't know. I hope so. I miss her.
Ollie's always been mission first, and so it kind of seems like this season he's trying to have a more of a personal life. It'll be safe to say that in the flashbacks we're seeing how he got to mission first.
Absolutely. We are, again, we're on the short side of the hill in the flashbacks, and we are hurtling towards the Oliver that we met in the pilot, and that's gonna be a cool transition to play.
What was your reaction when you found out who the big bad would be for this season?
I was really excited. If you want to know who that big bad is, you should watch the trailer tonight in Hall H.
That's a perfect run. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.